Have you seen the global phenomenon that is the Black Panther movie? Our top tips on relationship lessons from Wakanda right now.
Loves.
What's going on, guys? This is Heath.
And I'm Tracy.
And welcome to Joyfully Married After on
HeathandTracyTV.
Tracy and I are relationship strategists specializing in premarital preparedness and intramarital improvement.
So if you're new here, consider subscribing or hit the like button if you like what we've got to say. Also, check out for the other goings on at HeathandTracy.com. We're going to talk about
T'challa.
T'challa first, guys.
We are talking about T'challa in our relationship lessons from Wakanda. We're so glad you guys joined us today.
Thank you. So what do we like about T'challa?
I love the fact that T'challa was a complete man. T'challa was a man of his community. He was very strong. He was strong in his faith. He was doing what he knew to do. He was a protector. And he was all about his community of Wakanda. Wakanda Forever. The second thing I liked about him was that he was really self-aware, right? He knew all about himself. He was a prince. He had all these responsibilities on his shoulders.
I am your king now.
He was the
That's
Black.
my favorite line.
He was the Black Panther, right? So his father was killed, and he had to function in the prince role, but he was also the protector of the entire country. So it was a lot of pressure on him.
So men, be more self-aware. Understand who you are.
Yes, and be confident above all. Anything that you do, you have to be confident. So if you're going for that promotion at the office, if you're going for that new job,
If you step into somebody.
if you step into that queen out there that you had your eye on, let me give you a big piece of advice. You better bring some confidence.
Yes.
You got to have some swag out here. So make sure you do that.
Okay.
Another thing I loved about him was that he always sought wise counsel. Whenever he ran into a scenario where he hadn't seen it before, he wasn't quite sure, he would call on the gods and he would get advice from his father. He would, talk with his mother sometimes, right? Anytime that he wasn't sure about something. And so that's a great tip for guys out there or people out there in general. If it's the first time you've ever done something, seek some wise counsel. Get around some people that have the information, that have the knowledge, maybe that have been through what it is that you're about to experience. Sometimes you can do that through books and information as well. It's not just somebody that you're seeing in person.
The next thing I like is that he knew what type of woman he wanted,
Yes.
and he knew who he wanted.
He did.
He wasn't conflicted.
No.
He wasn't confused. he wasn't afraid of commitment.
Right.
He knew exactly what type of woman he needed to add to himself, His Highness.
That's a great point, baby. And he went after her, right? He didn't make any bones about it. He wasn't wishy-washy. He was very clear when he stepped to Lupita. He knew her name.
It wasn't Lupita.
Her name in the movie was
it was
not Lupita.
Nakia. He got Lupita on the brain.
Her name was not Lupita in the movie. It was Nakia. And so, but the point I think that Tracy is making is that he was very clear about what he wanted.
Yes.
So I thought that was really dope. Another thing that was cool was that he respected his elders, right? And so that's a great point, right? When you have reverence for history, for people that have come before you, have paved the way for so many of the conveniences and blessings that you can benefit from today, it's a very key thing to be able to give them reverence and to pay respect to your elders.
So those are the things that we noticed about T'Challa from Black Panther.
Nakia, on the other hand, was so strong. So they were actually similar in that where they were really strong personalities, strong will, all about community. And her character was just so beautiful in that she had that self-awareness as well. And she was all about community, doing good. She saw the big picture and things that she felt that the country should be doing.
The fact that she was about community. It wasn't just about her and what she wanted to be.
Right. But let's talk about her for a moment. She was flawless.
Yeah, she was, guys.
What? I mean, the skin, the hair, the makeup, the clothes,
the walk,
how in shape she was. Right. The point is that she was a version of her best self.
Right.
And so I think that's really the key lesson there that people can extrapolate from is that you want to be your best self out here, especially if you're single, right? You're looking for a mate. You want to be a complete person, which I think both of these characters were. They were complete people. They were about the community. They were about their initiatives, things that were important to them. They were active, they were activists, and they felt responsibility. And even though they were single people, they were not spending all their waking hours trying to figure out how they were going to get with somebody and what they were going to do.
What I like is that she knew T'Challa wanted her.
Yep.
But she was like, I have other things to do, Your Highness.
Yes. It's a little hard, you know, kind of old school, playing hard to get.
I don't think she was playing hard to get.
I think that she was so engrossed in what she was about, what she was doing, was that she knew that the dude liked him.
Yeah.
The dude's a trillionaire.
Yeah.
And
90 trillionaire.
But he was still like, yo, she wasn't giving him the Heisman, but she was just like, oh, I'm good.
Yeah, she really was.
And so I think that's
I
something
really thought that was good, and I thought that made her more attractive to him.
It absolutely did. It absolutely did. Yeah, he was very attracted to her and you know, somewhat elusive, right? So that's the one that almost got away, and he's all about trying to win her over, trying to woo her, trying to make her see what it could be like if they were together.
Yeah.
Well, let me get on my soapbox for a moment and talk about the regality of Nakia. How beautiful she was, how well clothed she was, how her makeup was on point, and she had a mouth to match. Now, what do I mean by that?
She didn't have a potty mouth.
From my perspective, I think that it is such a beautiful attribute for a woman that can articulate her thoughts and words without using a ton of profanity.
Unlike my wife.
And so, I didn't say that.
I did.
And so for me, I just wanted to point that out, that one of the things that was really dope about her was that her mouth was on point.
Yeah, but it was a Disney movie. He also saw in Nakia what she could add to him as king.
Right.
You know?
Right.
He saw how she carried herself, how beautiful she was, how intelligent she was, how brave she was, and all the things she was doing in her community. He said, she can add to me.
Yeah, and it was very clear to him that he could see her being queen, that he wanted her to be part of his life, and that he knew that as thorough as he was, as on point that he was, he knew that she would just multiply that and add a phenomenal element to his relationship. And so that's why he loved her. So that's all we have, guys, on our relationship lessons from Wakanda. I'm so glad you could join us today.
Thank you.
So remember, stay connected. Stay connected to God, stay connected to your family, and stay connected to your spouse.
Or your significant other.